This is our Hideaway Cottage, built in 1850 with ridiculously wonky walls, low doors, worm-eaten beams and a slight damp issue, which my husband jokes is because the house is most likely built straight onto mud. Six years ago, we bought this little cottage, and when we moved in, everywhere was perfectly livable. It was really quite modern for an old cottage. It was mostly painted in pure brilliant white, everywhere except for a few feature walls, one of which was grey, which I think was a trend at some point. We had one kitchen wall which was painted in a very, very bold orange, and then there was the family bathroom, a room of gloom. I can only describe the colour as being the colour of depression. Like if depression was a colour, it would be this. When I went in there, my mood plummeted. I felt like a heavy weight was on top of me, that I was in a dark place, which I was, quite literally. So even if the sun outside was shining, in there felt like a dark cave. Fast forward to today and my bathroom doesn't make me feel depressed, and I'm very happy to be in there. And really, I guess that's the power of colour, the power that paint can have on us and our homes. I should clarify that this video is not sponsored by Farrow & Ball, which is a shame because they are about to get some free advertising in what I'm about to say, which is that I love their paints. Before I tried them, I thought they were overpriced with silly pretentious names that only wealthy people used, but I have had a change of heart over the years and I'll admit that they are rather special. They have a quality and finish unlike other paints, and the way they change throughout the day as the light moves. Sometimes they can completely change colour, which really brings the walls to life and adds a dimension to the room. Ultimately, they have helped to transform our little hideaway cottage for the better. Let's start the paint tour by looking back to what was here before and the mistakes we made. The kitchen, that was painted in this bright orange, had to go. However, what we tried replacing it with was just as awful, a dark navy, which at the time everyone on Instagram was using. It was honestly at this point that I realised I shouldn't follow any trends. I learnt my lesson and I reluctantly painted it all white, unable to decide on a colour. This also made me lose all confidence in my colour choosing ability. Meanwhile, upstairs in the family bathroom, we started trying to cover the shiny dark purple with tons of white paint. I think it had at least 5 coats before we could attempt any colour. We actually had some Farrow & Ball paint left over from our old house, pink ground and skimming stone. Not necessarily what I'd put together now, but anything was better than the previous colour. It wasn't perfect, but it felt so much brighter in there. Over the next year or two, we took inspiration for colour from holiday cottages we'd stayed in. Lovely light and bright cottages on the Norfolk and Cornish coastline, where pale blues, greens and neutrals were used to reflect the scenery around them. And so I began a Pinterest board which I called Country Coastal, and pinned pictures which were calming and contemporary, maybe a little romantic, and with a nod to a traditional English cottage. So here is a paint tour of our Hideaway Cottage. I'm still learning about colour and what I like and what works for us. There's definitely rooms I'd like to change in time. I'd love to be braver, try something warmer, maybe some contrasting colours. I'd like the cottage to look, well, more cottagey. I'm always on Pinterest saving images, so maybe this will be the year we paint a room in Farrow and Ball's Dead Salmon, if only for the name. If you have enjoyed this paint tour, please do give me a thumbs up. It really does help to support my channel here on YouTube, and it motivates me to make more content. And if you're feeling particularly generous, I'd love it if you could hit that subscribe button. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you soon.